This is a piece of Douglas fir that my best friend Tim Friesen found on the beach in Port Renfrew. And he suggested, he didn't even know that I have giveaways, but he suggested that I carve this piece and have it a giveaway. So this will be the West Coast giveaway. Okay? So, and anywhere in the world can win this piece. So what I've decided what I'm going to do here is I'm going to carve a GreenMan. I know I owe you guys a GreenMan tutorial, so I'll just kind of lay out the GreenMan carving the leaf. So there's going to be a GreenMan right here, and there's going to be a wood spirit here, and his hair is going to be like whoosh. Just kind of follow the wood grain is what I'm doing here. His beard's going to whoosh, flow down here. His hair is going to flow up here, and then the GreenMan's leaves are going to be overlapping the wood spirit's hairs. So for myself, when I got a piece of wood like this, is I know this hole is 3 inches tall by 2 inches wide. So there is going to be something going in here for the giveaway too. You're just going to have to keep watching this video to find out how to win this piece. Okay, since I know that I'm going to carve this whole piece, I'm going to go along. I got my Fordham with my Kutzall Extreme Flame Burr here, right? I'm going to go along and clean up all the outside of this wood because this piece is going to crack. It's kind of wet wood, right? So at least when I clean up the outside of it, I'll see where the cracks are, and I can try to avoid the crack like splitting down. Say if the GreenMan's going to be here, splitting down the middle of his nose, right? So anyways, I'll get that done and I'll be back. Okay, so I spent about 15 minutes cleaning this up. So you guys can see now, this is where you get the indicator where the cracks are going to be, right? So you'll see these darker spots here. Those are cracks. That's where it's still wet. You know, once this piece really dries off, it's fairly dry. It's not soaking wet. Like towards the edges was wet where you can see it's fuzzy there. And when you carve fuzzy wood like this, that's when your burrs are going to plug up. And it's just super hard on your burrs. So I can see there's going to be a crack down here. Okay. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to put my camera in the overhead and I'm going to draw out the nose and the eyebrows for the GreenMan on this side. And I'm going to do a voiceover, not when I'm doing the carving. The GreenMan might be possibly easier to carve than a normal wood spirit, right? It's because it's just like, how can I explain this? Let me think. Like there's no really real part of a face. So you're gonna have your eyebrows here wherever I put them, and your nose. Then the rest of it's gonna be leaves, right? All the way up here. Oh, that's a lot of carving, but it's gonna be all leaves. Anyways, I'll stop babbling and let's get the camera in the overhead. Okay, so I look at my piece and I want the wood spirits, the GreenMan and the wood spirit to be off centered. So I'm gonna have the wood spirit a bit lower and the GreenMan a bit higher. And I gotta watch these cracks because I don't like it when there's a crack on the nose. So like there's a crack here. Let's see here. There's a bigger one coming down here. So maybe the GreenMan's nose can go right here. Right, here's his eyebrows. Let's give him a big honker. Okay, so for the very beginner, this is how I do my, but let's bring these eyebrows down too. So for the very beginner, it's good that you get this length in here and this length in here. You can see that's a bit pitched more. The same length and the same pitch. Normally your mustache would come rolling off here, but let's just carve. We're not going to carve too deep in here yet. We're going to carve deep here and all down here, and we're going to get this nose to really pop off. We're not going to draw any leaves on yet, okay? So I'm going to do this, I'll speed it up maybe 2 times the speed. I am going to be using my Kutzall Extreme Flame Burr. This is my go-to burr right here, everybody. I love this burr because you can get a thin cut or you can get a thick cut if you put it on its belly, right? On the bottom side. So we'll see how this goes, and I'm using a Dremel 4000 with a Dremel flex shaft. The Dremel, any Dremel's good. You don't have to have the Dremel 4000. You can even get a cheap one, right? A cheap like Wen or a Tack Life. So this is what I'm going to do. And to get these Kutzall burrs, just go to the description below. Take you to the Kutzall site. Use the code CFusion if you want to buy yourself a burr. and you'll save yourself 5 or 10% or something. Okay, we got a quick voiceover here. So this is sped up really quick here in a second. This is the most, once you can carve the eyebrows, the bottom part of the eyebrows, and get the nose to really stick off the piece, this, you can take it anywhere from here. All right. Once you get that part of it down, you're on the way to carving a great wood spirit or a great face or whatever you want to do, right? So I also think a GreenMan, personally, in my own opinion, a GreenMan is easier to carve than a wood spirit because the face doesn't really need to look round. It doesn't have to look proportionate. It just can, well, wood spirits don't have to be proportionate, but you guys know what I mean. It's just get that nose carved and then those eye sockets. Then you can do whatever you want to do. And you see here, here's a tip for some wood spirits. See how I'm pushing that mustache deeper than the cheekbones? Now I'm rounding the cheekbones. Didn't need to round them, but see how that mustache is lower? That's a good tip to get your cheeks to stick higher out when you're doing the wood spirits. So like I said, anybody can carve a GreenMan. I'm telling you right now, before I thought to myself, when I first started carving, no way I'm going to be able to carve one. This one didn't turn out too great. Well, because I was working with a terrible piece of soaking wet wood. Well, not that. The outside was soaking. The deeper I carved into it, it was drier, I guess. I don't know. It just was not an enjoyable piece of wood to carve. But there you see, once you get that shape right there, you're off to the races, friends. See, carving that mustache deeper, getting the cheekbones there. Sit higher. You can see that wood where it's darker, it's really wet there. And all I do is just go back over and try and make them proportionate. I carved the nostrils in. Took made some of the nose thinner. Okay, I'm going to punch in the nostrils here. There you go. Punch them in. Give them a little bit of curve on the sides. See that wet wood there? It's darker. Cleaning up the nostrils. Just running around cleaning up the piece too. Try and get those two sides the same on where the nostrils are. Okay, that's it. Voiceover number 1. Carve Fusion. Okay, so you guys can see there, I got the nose in. I just kind of got ahead of myself. I carved the nostrils in and his eyebrows. So it's, you know, when you're doing the eyebrows and stuff, you want to try and make sure at this point they're still the same level across. These ones are okay. So now we got to give this guy a mustache. So we'll just use, you know, you always got to put your center line on. Okay, for the beginners, it's always good to reference. Just keep putting the center line on. So right here. This guy's not going to be crazy detailed. So this is the fun part. You know, now you can just start deciding where you want to put your leaves on this GreenMan. So how big? If you want to put big leaves, if you want to put small leaves. So let's start this off here. We'll put a leaf here. So one leaf's going to be an eyebrow here. Okay, so there's another leaf. And where do you want to put your leaves going up the head? So let's just do this. One leaf right here. And it's just kind of like anything else. If you want to do it like, so it's like flower petals, right? You can give it some shape too. See how that one's got shape? You can go like this, give them some crazy weird shapes. Oh boy, this is going to be a lot of cutting. A lot of carving. I don't, so this one's going to have to wrap around the side here. So you guys can see how I'll carry this on. I just carry these on up here like this, right? It's always easier if you put a flower petal in between two petals like that. So let's start doing this here. But you see here, it didn't happen like that. That's okay. We'll just kind of go like this. The neater that you put them on, the nicer it's going to look. But like, fish scales need to be nice and uniform and stuff like that, kind of. But not really this. And then these ones I'll just do here. So the mustache. Okay, so we'll put one flower petal on this side, then one flower petal on leaf, green leaf. If I call them my flower petals, sorry, but I mean to call them leaves. So here's a leaf here, and here's a leaf here, right? You got his lip here. And then how will we do this? Okay, we'll start off with one big one down here, and then just kind of, oh, it's a lot of cutting for a giveaway. And these are just reference lines too. Okay, so you got his cheeks. All right. So how would you start off with his cheeks? Well, we got his eyes will be, let's pretend we're giving him a corner of a face here. Like this will be his cheeks right here. So we'll do one flower petal coming down this way. Kind of like this. It's kind of incorporated into it. It's somewhat hard to explain, but hopefully you guys can see what's happening here. And you just blend them all in. It's not rocket science. And these ones I'll have wrapping around in here. Oh boy. What are you thinking, Jordy? What are you thinking? So we got this one here. Then, so you guys see how that works. Okay? There's your GreenMan. Have fun. So we'll make it so these petals down here are kind of starting to go this way, like following a pattern. Don't forget, we need to leave room for our wood spirit on this side too. So you see? Yeah. What are you thinking, Jordy? I know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking somebody's going to be a lucky winner. That's what I'm thinking. That's my favorite thing to do is give back, the giveaways. It's a lot of work, but okay. So we'll put one more up in here. And we'll have to carry these ones over here. This kind of gets tricky here, so I'll do some deeper carving in here. Maybe have to carve that down. And we'll leave this open for the wood spirit. So what am I going to... I'm going to try one of those aluminum, those cheap Chinese. I think I got a brand new one here. Hold on a second, I'll be right back. Yeah, so to do all my flower petals, like the template, to carve them in, I think I'm going to use this. This is one of those three cheap Chinese burs. They get super dull fast, but it cuts nice. It stops and starts. So I'll go across all these lines. These petals on the eyebrows could be shaped a bit bigger. Okay, so I'll go on. If this doesn't work, then I'm going to have to use, let's see, like a Kutzall taper burr. Kind of like this, but the extreme one when I can find it. Okay, so I'm going to go on all along the outside. I'm going to speed this up super quick. On the outside of the lines, and then I'll be back. Another thing I want to say before I get at it, like, you know, the deeper that you carve your lines, that just means like more depth. That just means more wood to remove. So you can do these really shallow, so they just got like very much like not overlap on each leaf, but I always get carried away and put lots of depth in them, so the flowers is, well, there's just lots of depth. Let's see if this works. So that's what I'm going to do. Go along with all these flower petals, get these all cut in, then I'll come back with that other taper burr. Okay, so about this piece. At the beginning of the video, I said, yes, it's wet wood. I'm pretty sure it was wet wood, and it was wet wood. And this thing is a friggin' nightmare. I kind of went against my rules for Dremel carving, and I carved wet wood. I hate it. There's nothing enjoyable about carving wet wood. It's fuzzy, all right? It plugs up your burrs. It makes a mess, and it's just a friggin' nightmare. So I suggest to all you beginning carvers, try and find dry wood to carve, right? Wet wood just, I hate this, pardon my language, but it sucks. So on another note, so when you got these leaves blocked in, now you look, okay? See, this looks like a long leaf here, but it's not. We're going to do burning to separate these leaves. But if you look here, you got a super long leaf. It's this easy. All you do is you draw another leaf on there. That's it. I'll cut that in. I'll be back in a second. And there you go. There's another leaf. I'll just shape it better. So what I'm going to do quickly here, everybody, I have tons of tutorials how to carve wood spirits in my playlist. So I'm going to quickly carve in a wood spirit right here, make it kind of blowing and get this tucked underneath the leaves. And then I'll be back. Let's do this. Abra Cadabra. Okay. There's an old school carving fusion wood spirit. Tucked in there fairly nicely, I would think. Would you think? So anyways, what I'm going to do next now is I got this, let's get the lighting better here. I got this Kutzall taper burr. I think this is just the original silver one. And I'm going to go along and clean everything up, make sure there's all the pens off the marks. And I'm going to dig in here, clean up good, and make them like, so here I'll carve deep and make it a nice thick line. It gives it that concurved look in the leaves. And let's do a time lapse on this, and I'll talk about how you're going to win this carving with something that's going to go in the middle. Check, check, check. Is this mic on? Check, check, check. Microphone on. Okay, so how will you be able to win this carving? I spoke to Just Carve Rob this morning. It's going to be a little while before he can do his video. Maybe he'll try and get to it this week, if time allows him. I know it snowed there again, so he's he's out there snow plowing with his truck snow plower. And don't slip on that ice, Rob. But Rob agreed that he would carve an owl to go in the center. I'll show him what this piece looks like when it's done. So the winner is going to have to pick between 1 and 100, and you're going to have to leave a comment below. And then you're going to have to keep an eye. If you're not subscribed to Just Carve Rob yet, I suggest you go over there and subscribe and watch for his owl carving video, because you're going to have to leave a comment on his video too. So let me explain in plain English. You have to leave a comment in this video saying your name, what number you're guessing between 1 and 100. One guess only. Anybody guesses more than one time will be deleted. Then you got to watch for Rob's carving an owl video, and you just have to leave a comment on that video. You don't need to guess a number on the comment on his video. So I would also in the future, once Ben's studio on the lake finishes contracts and work slows down and everything a bit for him, I haven't talked to him about this yet, but hopefully, Ben, if you're watching this, I would kind of like to do one of these with you pretty soon too. Because, well, you're a professional carver when you're doing your contract stuff, but you like to carve fantasy stuff too, so I think me and you could do something pretty fun. And I just think it makes it good. And like, my favorite thing to do is give back too. It makes me feel best, so it just shows appreciation to all the subscribers in the channel. I will be making a little video just saying, hey everybody, Just Carve Rob's videos live, so you better go over there and comment too if you want a chance to win this. I will ship this worldwide. I think I'm going to have to pay shipping for Rob's too, unless he wants to pay it. But I already offered to pay it. It was my idea, so I should pay it anyways. So here we got is a flap sander. And what I was just doing there is I was running around and cleaning up the carving, and this is the almost the final cleaning of the carving. And yeah, I'm crazy. This piece of wood was absolutely terrible to carve. See ya. Okay, so there is a number I did in black felt. What number did I do? I forget. Put it in the envelope. I'm going to lick the envelope. I don't need to mail it to myself. I think you guys trust me that I'm not a scammer. So let's put some lines here. You guys can take a screenshot of this so you can see it's going to be the exact same envelope. Let's do, okay, just carve Rob with a little smiley face with some ears. Okay, take a screenshot if you want there so it's all sealed up. Let me look here a bit better. So when Just Carve Rob's done his video, we'll find a winner. We'll open this. Pick a number between 1 and 100. All right. So I sanded it up. I did touch clean. I still use a couple more cleanups there. Damn it. A little cut too deep there, holes. But you can see it's still fuzzy. So what I'm going to do is I got this little benzomatic butane torch. And I'm going to go along and I'm just going to lightly burn on the outside of the petals because that's where it's fuzzy. You'll see there. And I'll burn deep inside here, right? And then see, like it's still fuzzy in there. I don't want to sand it too much because you'll sand away your detail, right? So I'll use this. Then I'm going to pull out my wood burner. Then we'll flap sand it with peterblair sanding mandrel, and we'll see if we're going to put a finish on it or not. So this is really good for burning detail. Like I said, this wood's still pretty wet, so I can see that just doing that, I'm burning all the fuzzies away. You can burn in there a lot deeper, give it a better effect in between the flower petals. But I just want to burn, my objective is to burn the fuzzies away. And I can see it's working, so I'll leave that there and I'll be back. So you do want to be careful and don't wood burn it too much like I did. Let's see if we can pull this sucker back. Let's do some sanding. All right. So you got to remember when you're doing the wood burning, you're going to burn away your detail. And also, you're going to make the wood crack more too. So you see some cracks. There's one down here. I don't know if you guys can see it. So this guy's not going to have real eyes. He's just going to have kind of like Asian kind of happy eye things. So what I'm going to do now is pull out this wood burner. I already broke it. This thing broke off. But you can get this on my Amazon store. It works good for me. And I'm just going to go along and separate the petals. And then I'm going to put some leaf lines in there, I guess you'd call them. Maybe some details in this wood spirit here. And yeah, carry on. Okay, so when I do this, I got my thing cranked up full blast. Pedal to the metal kind of deal. I'll just show you guys. So this is soaking wet Douglas fir. And it's not burning very good. So you can also burn in here, like, you know, make it look deeper inside there. So I'll be here for about 5 hours doing this, I think. So I guess I'll be back. I'll tell you one thing right now. If we're allowed to swear on our thumbnails, this thumbnail would have been called Jordy. What the fuck were you thinking? What the fuck were you thinking, Jordy? Pardon my language. All right, so I'd have more fun watching paint dry than do that wood burning on again. I'm talking about oil paint, you know, like it takes 3 days to dry because that's a lot of wood burning on wet wood. So it's not the best. It is what it is. Now I'm going to go along with this Scotch Brite here on the sanding mandrel and clean up all the extra burn marks away. Okay. Yes, I signed it. Right there, Jordy Johnson, 222. Put a hole in the top to hang it on a nail. So, the outside of this wood's pretty well dry now, okay? This, I don't know if this is my experience, this Rust Oldham is satin clear. This is safe to put on damp wood. I wouldn't put on soaking wood, but I'm telling you right now, I've put it on damp wood and it dry. This stuff still dries. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray this on. You guys, you can leave your carving exactly the way it is. You don't need to put a finish on it. Okay, you do. I'm thinking I shouldn't put a finish on this and just leave it the way it is till Just Carve Rob's owl's done. But screw it. Let's put it on this. I know it's going to go a little bit orange. Why is it going to go orange, you ask? Well, because this wood's kind of orangish color. Well, that's not bad. Not too bad. Okay, so there it is done. So I just want to say a tip for everybody. Your GreenMan doesn't have to have the flower petals like all around here and stuff. You can have weird lines coming off the forehead. You can have weird lines coming down here. It doesn't even need to have flower petals. It can a GreenMan's a wood spirit, and a wood spirit can be whatever you want it to be, right? So yeah, this was a miserable piece of wood to carve, but it's done. I prevailed, and carry on. Now we just gotta wait for Just Carve Rob to finish his little thing that he's gonna carve in there. So I will make a video when Rob's video, because not everybody subscribed to Just Carve Rob, but I suggest you go over there and subscribe there. I will make a video when Rob's video is up, just a friendly reminder, because you guys are going to have to go over there and comment on that video too to be able to win this giveaway. So it will be called the West Coast Giveaway. Hope everybody's good, and good luck. And don't forget to pick a number between 1 and 100. Talk to you soon. Carve Fusion. Over and out.